Alright, here's what I got going on. I got some great area to do some very fun stuff with. I got way lucky on my front trim panel. It's going to go up in front over here. I didn't think my mid amplifier would fit. It just fits. Like the screw holes have that much room to just screw right in. So that works out great. Got my mids here. These are 8s, the P3M series. Bad looking mamma jammas, man. These are awesome looking. Perfect. I mean, another perfect thing. I could make this look really awesome if I had more time and wanted to have the patience. These mids would fit here, and these crossovers are very small and really cool. And I know I could find a place to put them. But that would mean more places to kind of wire, you know, to hide wire. These are really awesome how these 8s come. They have this little trim panel that go behind them. And then the, you know, the mesh part, the safety part, kind of clips in around this. So because they did it this way, I have a cutout. So I can just kind of put this here where I want it and then trace that, and there's my cutout to fit that in it. And I'm bad about cutouts, you know, and I jigsaw them. I don't have the other router here right now, and my router, I don't really know how to use it, don't feel like fucking with it. So this is very handy. So what I think I'm going to be doing for Slam is doing no tweeters. I'm not even going to run my tweeters that are up front here. I'm not even going to hook them up. And one of my channels on my, or actually I might bridge, I'll probably bridge, I'll bridge the front 2 channels to run just my 2 up in my control box and no tweets, and then just have my 8s on each side, like inside or on the other side of the port, you know, and maybe a 6x9 on the top. My little top spot I got here. This is a piece I salvaged. Or this is the back. This is the back, actually. I still got to cut the top. Shit. Yeah, I still got to cut the top. So I might put a 6x9 on the top. I haven't decided yet, and I haven't did the math on the ohms. But for now, to speed things up, I'm not going to use these tweeters. I'm not going to have any tweeters. No crossovers. It's just going to be mids all in my amp. And go to Slam that way. But I really love the way these fucking 8s look. They are badass. P3M series component set. This is, you get 2 of these, of course, 2 8s, and 2 of these fucking tweets, 20-inch tweets. These are bad sons of bitches, man. I love them. I'd love to hear them, but I just don't have the time. I'm already running out of time today. I'm getting my trim panel and everything done. I still got to cut my top. I got to cut the other side. I got to cut these motherfuckers out. My battery's got to go in. I mean, I'm still got a lot to do, and it's just me here. I mean, my nephew was here, kind of, you know, doing a little sanding and stuff, but he can't wire or do any cuts or anything like that. So, yeah, buddy. Well, I'm glad I didn't get too far ahead on this, because I'm getting ready to rip it all back out. I have my boards cut for my side over here, except for the top. I don't think I cut the top. Maybe I did. I don't know. 2 8s. But this is not going to hold. This is a piece of wood I put behind there, and I gotta pull this back plate back off of here, because I got some steel that's going to be welded. There's no way this window is going to hold with 2 inches, like that much metal underneath this window from there all the way over there. There's no fucking way this is going to hold. This will fall out. So before I go any farther, I'm going to try to carefully take my panels out, and if I fuck them up, I fuck them up. But yeah, I got to get that backboard off of there and talk to a welding buddy of mine. Sucks, but gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, so Got a guy lined up, my buddy tomorrow, to do some welding for me. So that's all ripped out. So, since I can't touch the inside, or I can, but I'll take it all back out, I think I'm going to install some batteries. Yeah, some batteries. These motherfuckers have been in my way for way too long. But I got my backboards I gotta put on first, so yeah, they're sitting over there, them motherfuckers. So that's getting ready to happen. My truck's getting ready to get a lot heavier. About 800 pounds heavier. That guy's not going back in, unfortunately, unless I can find a spot to put him. Okay, folkies. Got the motherfucking batteries back in. 7 of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. I didn't really record on this because I had a buddy come over last night, my buddy Chris. And he decided to help, and he actually lugged them up in my truck as I straightened them all out. So he did me a huge fucking favor. And then we had to get them lined up in the middle, and I had to cut my board a little bit. I got worried because you see that black board down there? Probably barely kind of can. That is what my battery sit on. Well, it worked in my last build, but when I put it in this build, it was too long. So it freaked me out. I didn't think my batteries were going to fit. I definitely didn't think they were going to fit with my 2x4s. Got the 2x4s on the back for better bracing. Got one on the side here. I got to get one underneath of it and then 2 on the other side. But yeah, I had to cut about an inch or inch and a half off my board down there, and it freaked me out. But nope, my batteries still fit just fine. Look, I can even stick my fingers down in between them. So between them and my bed. Also, my grounds here. These are my frame grounds. They were all fucking rusted. Well, the copper lugs weren't, but my the metal was. So, let's see if you can clear it up here for you. What you're seeing there is a substance that Scott Bowman told me to buy. If you don't know who Scott Bowman is, cockbox dude, look him up on YouTube. Insanely fucking loud. I haven't got a chance to meet him in person, but I wish I could. His system is off the fucking chain. He's got the brown, he does the brown note, you know, people call it sometimes, where, you know, feels like you're gonna shit your pants. Anyway, that pasty copper looking stuff on top of there, underneath there is all like that shiny silver color, because I resanded it and Stoney grinded on it, and then I resanded it. Put the terminals back on, and we drilled extra spots instead of having them all stacked up. Put the stainless nuts and bolts on, and then I smeared this copper paste all over top of it that Scott Bowman told me to buy. And let me get through my garage here. It's a tight spot, but I'm not complaining. It's better than no garage. It's this right here. LB8000 copper base anti-seize lubricant. He says he puts this on all his customers' cars. On the frame grounds, he actually sent me a picture of the frame ground he just did on a customer's car. Then he sent me a link to this stuff. And I actually had a thing up on Facebook where I asked people about you know, what they would do about it. I had a lot of different answers. A lot of people said paint it, and all that. And then Scott told me about this. This is something that in, say, 6 months from now, I can take my finger and wipe away, and maybe get, you know, a rag and wipe it off to see if it works. Paint, who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? You gonna scrape the paint off? Scrape the paint off, you might fucking, you know, scrape the rusty part off, and so you still never know. Got just a fucking madhouse going up in here. As you know, I ripped all my shit back out. I think I said that last night. This is my bottom board. My other board sitting up in the back. I got some threaded, or not threaded rod. I got some angle iron. This is a 1/2" steel, weldable steel. Got a 3/4 one down there somewhere. I'm gonna go to my my buddy who welds and see if he can't weld me a piece along the back and maybe a couple on the sides, because that's just not gonna work. I mean, let's get real. That's not gonna fucking work. I can't afford to lose my back window just for you know, what do you call it? You know, slacking. I know it's gonna fuck up. If I don't try to address the problem now before it happens, then it could create real big fucking problems. I mean, so yeah, it is what it is. He was gonna do it tonight, but he was really busy working today, probably 12 hours or more. So yeah, we'll have to wait till tomorrow. But I figured I'd get my frame grounds hooked up. I think I'm gonna actually hook up my these are the ones from my alternator. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hook those bitches in just because. And I got one ground run that I did from the front going all the way to the back. That's going to go also on my grounds. So yeah, that's what's going on.